Barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. So, by popular demand, let's get into it. Don't forget, uh, we go live every night, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to join the Patreon. I think all my stock picks are profitable. My number one pick doubled already. You know what I mean? In less than 2 months. You know what I mean? So feel free to join the Patreon. And I'm not saying I'm the expert, but sometimes I get it right. But let's jump into this shit really quick. Andre Ward, man. First, I'll start by saying this. Andre Ward, more than welcome to come on my platform anytime, and we can have this conversation man to man. I tried to have it with you man to man and in person. Maybe a wireless device can allow you to speak more comfortably and probably have more time. I think the interview was only 20 minutes. So, one, I want to say this. The reformed man always gets more credit than the motherfucker that was down from day one. Right? I was the guy holding the line. Holding the line. When I say holding the line as it relates to black fighters, black promoters, black managers getting their just due. Whether I had ridicule, obviously, from white people, Evan Korn from Top Rank, Andre Ward, who called that conversation despicable, disgusting, and racist, right? But now if you and I have that conversation, it would be the most beautiful conversation ever today, right? And you would have a different tone if I asked you those questions about Deontay Wilder. So let's go through this. Got a strike. Top Rank took my credentials away, which is, irrelevant. What else? Got ridiculed online. Hundreds of emails. Countless DMs. Comment section. Thousands. You can go into hundreds of thousands as it relates to the comments in the comment section. You know what I mean? And it's two parts with me. Society made it acceptable for Andre Ward to talk about race. And why I'm going to say this, and I'm not going to tear him apart, because we need to keep our forces aligned in this space. But I'm going to tell the truth. When I interviewed Andre Ward, feel free to Google it, Sergey Kovalev, Andre Ward 2. He never would say white people. He always said they. He never would say black. You understand? He would never say the black athlete. Go watch the interviews. And I sat there and I just let him talk. I wasn't upset. You know what I mean? And he's a poster child for accepting his role. And why I'm going to say he's a poster child for accepting his role is because he accepted who they told him to be. Triple G fight. You should have went and got that fight. You should have went and got that fight and demoralized and embarrassed Triple G, but you still had your allies with at the time HBO, and you didn't want to mess up your money. You know what I mean? And some may say that is a fair assumption, but you know what I mean? And that's just the reality of it. You know what I mean? So I take exception. I like my spirit takes exception. The fight that I am now, we gonna need Andre Ward. We gonna need his platform. We gonna need his microphone to broadcast truths from this point forth. But the spirit in me, I look at people like him and Floyd Mayweather, like, oh, now it's comfortable to say I'm black and I'm proud. Say it loud. You know what I mean? Like the spirit in me looks at men like this sideways. You understand what I'm saying? Like he should have been saying this from Jump Street. He said he's been protesting. Define protest, because you're still accepting a check from HBO. Define protest. And you're still working for the same company, ESPN, Man, define protest to me. Andre Ward speaking up, saying a clever a clever a clever a clever comment, a clever response. You know what I mean? Real men talk in first person. I'm just gonna say this. Real men don't use pronouns, they, we, us, them. Real men say it's my fault. I'm right. This is what I believe, and this is what I'm gonna take or not take. Andre Ward never go through his interviews. Andre Ward never speaks in first person. Never. Excuse me. That makes it a lie. Like that's like proving first degree murder, right? Many times, many of his interviews, he speaks in pronouns. He never speaks in first person as a man. Go watch. He's cleverly carved himself a niche to remain, to keep the checks coming. And that's just who he's been his entire career. I supported him his entire career until it came to the black issues. He said his dad was white. And I just literally deflated. I literally deflated. I have mixed kids. If Lincoln copped out of a black issue and said, well, my mom is Asian, he would have hell to pay. You understand what I'm saying? Because I know that my child is a black child outside of Dre's family. You know what I mean? I chose not to buy a mansion in Calabasas for $1.7 million. Instead, I bought a home in Baldwin Hills. That was my choice. Mark Jackson and Kenny Smith and Drake and The Game, the Kardashians would have been around the corner in my community. I chose not to. I chose to come down to the Crenshaw District, Baldwin Hills, Ladera Heights, because I know the importance of when my child face adversity in the real world, they're going to see him as a black man. I chose to live in 9004, whatever. You know what I mean? I chose that. You know what I mean? And I think us as black men have to accept that regardless of pay rate, regardless of stature loss. And everyone in boxing deemed me as a race baiter. A race baiter. You know what I would do? Just hold my ground. Never fight. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, I'm probably the underdog in most of this shit anyway if I'm in boxing, right? Never physical, but I just hold my ground as an intellectual. I'm not budging because every person, quote unquote, I interview can whoop my ass. I'm not budging. I stand my ground. You know, he's twice after both Tyson Fury fights, he's attempted to take money out of Deontay Wilder's pocket. Oh, Tyson Fury should just go on to Wembley and fight Anthony Joshua and fill up the stadium. He wouldn't want that anymore. You know what I mean? Like we gotta be comfortable. Fuck. We gotta be comfortable. We gotta be comfortable being black in the uncomfortable settings. We can't be afraid. It's an earthquake right now. It was an earthquake right now. Yeah, it was just an earthquake. We can't be afraid of yeah, it's an earthquake. Yeah, for sure. So, at least, or it may be a car, but cars use them. But anyways, man, as I digress, we can't be afraid with the emotions of the others when we're speaking about our truths. No one lives in our skin. No one can tell you what you've experienced on an individual basis. I can guarantee you, if Andre Ward had the ability to galvanize the spirit of boxing fans like Deontay Wilder, quite possibly, I can't say he would have, but potentially he could have gotten the Triple G fight. We Shane the Devil. You know what I mean? And they would have caved in because Triple G is nothing without us. Let's call a spade a spade. You know what I mean? Triple G is a mythological creature. He's not real. So I think that I didn't understand protests. I've never seen Andre Ward protest. I've never seen Andre Ward miss a fight. Um, I've never seen it. You know what I mean? I've seen him speak eloquently. Uh, I'm doing the video right now, but yeah, you supposed to be working, man. You supposed to be working.
I'm on my way over there.
Okay, I'll be right behind you. I'll be right behind you. Coincidentally, that's my business partner, man. We supposed to be flipping a home, as a matter of fact. $1.1 million home for flipping it. So, anyways, man. Uh, um, so, where was I? So I'll just say this. Andre Ward, you better be consistent. I'm not saying better as in I'm like the let me scoot back. I'm like the gatekeeper. I only speak for one man, and that's Frederick Hawthorne. I'll never say I speak for black people in its totality. I love the fact that black men can relate to my channel, and that's why we're so strong in terms of the black male audience, you know. But I'll never say I speak for all black people. That's not where Frederick Hawthorne stands, you know. We all differ in life experiences. But all lives don't matter if black lives don't matter. You know what I mean? Like, I don't live in I speak in hyperbole sometimes, you know, but not in real life, you know what I mean? Let's call a spade now. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, man, I'm glad Andre Ward has Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather, Timothy Bradley. Now they're comfortable speaking as black, you know. I hope that you remain consistent with it. I hope that you're not just going to be like many of these white people and just say it's the end thing. Hope you're not going to be like Netflix and the NFL and be so reactionary. I don't understand how black men are reactionary about a black experience. Take the lead, be the forefront. You know what I mean? And I'm confused too. Call a spade a spade. How can a rich man not live his truth? The only way they can affect you is financially. And once you beat the system, like many of these professional athletes and artists, and you know, you know what I mean? It just that's mind-boggling to me. Like I don't understand that. So and I know some people aren't gonna get it. Some people gonna say, well, Andre Ward is half white. Okay. He should have promoted himself as such. He should have promoted himself as a half black, half white man. You know what I mean? He should have. If he would have promoted himself as a 50-50 guy, then that's what he would have been. You know what I mean? White people didn't come to see him play. He never sold out a fight in Oakland. He's never had a fight in New York. White people don't support him. Us. People that got this, that melanin, supported him. You know what I mean? We supported him when the Sergey Kovalev Ward fight was even. You know what I mean? You know, I'm only gonna speak truths. I have no vendetta against Andre Ward, but I'm not. But what I can't do is the line to be blurred. I don't want the line to be blurred and people say, oh, thank you, Andre Ward, and this and that. If that's the case, like I said, boxing owes me 48. Andre Ward, Timothy Bradley, all you, I'm gonna talk about Timothy Bradley next. Owe me 40 acres and a mule. Because I've been preaching this from day one. I've been a black man in boxing since day one. And now I should be the one celebrating. Y'all owe me a 10 count. That's what y'all need. Y'all need to give me a 10 count. In celebration. Give me my black roses. You know what I mean? So anyways, man, Andre Ward, Come on the podcast. Y'all send Andre, he got me blocked on Instagram, which is fair. You know what I mean? Why should he? He has every right not to want to see my comments and shit. Now, I'm not accusing him that he owns his Instagram, so he can do what he pleases, you know? And, but feel free to come on the Opportunist podcast, man. Feel free. Feel free. You know what I mean? Feel free to come on the Opportunist podcast. You know, I look at Andre Ward the same way I look at Floyd Mayweather. You know what I mean? Are they being opportunists because it's comfortable to talk about being black, or will they be consistent at it? You know what I mean? Andre Ward called me an opportunist. You know? Called me an opportunist, but I spent $6,000 or $7,000 on an event for boxing fans, and they came on their own. You know what I mean? Andre Ward called me an opportunist, but he opened up a restaurant the Friday before the Wilder Tyson Fury fight. Is that not being an opportunist? Knowing you're gonna get the most media coverage, the most attention, right? Isn't that the definition of an opportunist? Taking advantage or getting the most out of an opportunity, or an action, getting the most out of an action. That's being an opportunist by definition. Just asking. You know what I mean? So that's what I believe about the situation. Moving forward, he's going to have to be consistent about it. You know what I mean? Because real niggas like me, and I use that term loosely, you know what I mean? We still looking at him and Floyd Mayweather out the side eye because they never spoke up. They never spoke up. From 2014, 2013, 2012, somewhere in there, till now, until June of 2020, they never spoke up. They never spoke up. You know what I mean? So, say I, Andre Ward. Start using the term I. You know what I mean? And I'm only going to call a spade a spade. You know what I mean? Call me on my bullshit if you want. You know what I mean? If the best thing you can call me is an opportunist, but the one thing you can never, ever say that I never stood up for you, Virgil Hunter, Andre Berto. I'm talking about just black men in general, not them as individuals. I stood up for Carissa Shields against your co-worker, Stephen Kim. I didn't get no backup from you or your team, or, you know what I mean? That's your big little sister. You're her big brother. I was the only one speaking up for Carissa Shields. But Steve Kim works for ESPN. That's the point I'm making. He doesn't challenge the people that pay him checks. I challenge the people who give me credentials and paid me checks. So what I did, I got off the grid. I made my own money. Made my own millions. Made my own generational wealth. Ain't nothing gonna stop me. About to go down this hill, drive across the street, and watch people work for me. Pretty much. You know what I mean? Go to Home Depot, get a few raw materials, and that's gonna be it. So anyways, man. Overall, am I happy he said something on his microphone? Yeah, he still was very careful in what he said. He didn't loosen up. Or maybe that's just him. Maybe he's just wound that way. I don't know. Maybe he can't be comfortable. Maybe he feel he has to be that clean. You know what I mean? And I'll do a separate video on Timothy Bradley. Because it's worth noting, again, about our interactions and the conversation that I told him. You understand what I'm saying? So, and the conversation that he responded back to me. So I didn't want to put them together. So anyways, man, that's my stance. That's what I believe. I'm happy moving forward. If Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather, Timothy Bradley can use their platform for the truth. The truth. That's all we want is the truth. The same way in this system, we don't want no motherfucking handout. We just want to be lived. We just don't want no motherfucking holding us back. I don't want no handout. I want the same rights the Constitution give you. That's all. Anyhow, man. Barbershop conversations, man. Y'all have a great day. And I'm off to work. Talk to you soon. Peace.